Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving into a really fascinating, deeply intricate Eastern cosmological text. It lays out a pretty stark warning, essentially arguing that humanity is living in what it calls the final era of the Kalpa. According to these teachings, we are quite literally in a cosmic race against time. The core message here is that immediate spiritual cultivation is required. You have to hurry up and practice before the clock completely runs out. It's a massive, highly structured worldview, and we're going to break it all down step by step.
To wrap our heads around this grand 129,600-year cosmology, here's our roadmap. We're going to cover the ticking cosmic clock, the final white era, why the Dharma descended now, a frankly wild story about Master Buddha's karmic debt, how to pass heaven's final test, and finally, the ultimate vision for a unified, peaceful world. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The Cosmic Clock. The Universe's Timeline. Let's start with the grand timeline established by the source text, which views universal history not as some endless, straight line, but as a massive, ticking clock with a definitive end. So, the text poses this really profound cosmological dilemma. It suggests that since the universe experiences seasons of birth and death, just like human beings go through birth, aging, sickness, and death, what actually happens when it reaches the end of its lifespan? The teachings argue that absolutely everything, even heaven and earth, has an expiration date. According to these teachings, we currently exist within a specific kalpa. Now, think of a kalpa as a vast, almost unimaginably long cosmic cycle. It's a limited time frame where the universe is created, exists for a set duration, and is eventually destroyed to make way for the next cycle. And humanity is currently caught right in the middle of this ticking clock. To really put this scale into perspective, one single universal cycle lasts exactly 129,600 years. The text divides this massive number into 12 distinct periods, named after the zodiac animals. So, heaven is born in the rat period, earth and the ox, and humanity in the tiger. Right now, the text states we are at the crucial halfway point between the horse and the sheep periods. Basically, the universe has literally reached its middle age, and the final phase of gathering and concluding is beginning. All right, moving to Section 2. The final white era, humanity's third stage. The crucial point here is understanding exactly where human history fits into this massive 129,600-year cycle. This timeline breaks down the cosmological history. Humanity has already progressed through the Green Era, which started around 5,000 years ago during the time of kings like Fusi. Then came the Red Era, around 3,000 years ago. Now the text claims we have officially entered the third and final stage, known as the White Era, which began roughly a century ago. Notice the clear progression across these eras. Back in the Green Era, the Dharma was strictly for kings and nobles. In the Red Era, under Shakyamuni Buddha, it was for monks and sages. But look at our current White Era, governed by Maitreya Buddha. It features the absolute most severe disasters, 81 calamities of wind. But it uniquely targets everyday, ordinary commoners for salvation. The safety net has been cast much wider, purely because the danger is at its absolute peak. Which brings us to Section 3, Why Dharma Descended Now, Heaven's Emergency Net. This is a pivotal cosmological event in the text, the unprecedented descent of the Dharma directly to ordinary households. The text presents a very stark cause and effect. On one side, we have the 81 calamities, which the teachings explicitly state are a direct result of degraded human minds. Extreme selfishness, greed, immorality. The idea is that disasters are literally born from human hearts. On the flip side, we see heaven's emergency safety net. The Dharma is descending to the common person precisely because the calamities are so incredibly severe. It's basically a divine rescue mission triggered by a global crisis. Through the guidance of a holy teacher, receiving the Dharma is framed here not just as adopting some nice, comforting philosophy. It's described as a literal unlocking of the door of birth and death. The text asserts that ordinary people now have this incredibly rare opportunity to awaken their unpolluted spiritual nature, step completely off the endless wheel of reincarnation, and return to their original divine home. Section 4. Master Buddha's Karmic Debt. To truly illustrate the severe personal stakes of this era, the text provides a chilling historical anecdote about the burden of karma. Okay, so Master Buddha was a highly revered monk who had maintained perfect, flawless discipline for 10 entire lifetimes. 10! But in his 11th life, during the Tang Dynasty, the emperor gifted him this incredibly luxurious sandalwood throne. And in that one split second,
Wuda felt a fleeting sense of pride and arrogance, believing he was above all others. That single moment of ego was all it took. Wuda's protective deities vanished. This allowed a centuries-old karmic rival, a man Wuda had deeply wronged lifetimes ago, to finally manifest and seek revenge. And he didn't just appear as a ghost. No, he manifested right on Wuda's leg as a horrific human-faced tumor. This tumor actually spoke, demanding meat and wine and causing Wuda excruciating agony. It's a terrifying visual, but the text uses it to make a very specific point. The text uses this intense story to explain a crucial concept for the final era. We see that 10 lifetimes of strict personal discipline could not erase Wuda's karmic debt. Relying solely on yourself just isn't enough. The resolution? True spiritual cultivation in this final era requires heaven's grace. It was only through sincere repentance and miraculous holy water from a divine being that the tumor and the ancient debt were finally dissolved. We need external, divine help to clear the massive debts we've all accumulated. Section 5, Passing Heaven's Final Test. This ticking clock and the harsh reality of massive karmic debts lead directly into the practical actions demanded of followers. So, to pass heaven's sifting process, the text mandates a very clear balance. You can't just go meditate in a cave somewhere. Step 1 is internal, cultivating wisdom by letting go of the ego, exactly what Wuda failed to do. Step 2 is external, actively cultivating merit through charity. That means giving wealth, sharing teachings, and offering forgiveness. And step 3 is completely action-oriented. You must fulfill your vow to heaven by actively spreading the Dharma to save others from the coming disasters. The teachings make it incredibly clear that heaven is basically acting like an examiner grading a final test. You don't just get a free pass. The text outlines 5 strict conditions. You need virtue, strict adherence to moral precepts, a righteous mindset, and importantly, what they call fire-like patience. The text describes the everyday world as a furnace, designed specifically to test you. Can you endure people wronging you without losing your temper? Only those who can maintain these 5 conditions will pass the final cosmological exam. Section 6, A Unified, Peaceful World. Finally, despite all these warnings of calamities and strict exams, the text culminates in a deeply hopeful vision. The ultimate cosmological goal isn't just about individual escape. It's not about just saving yourself and leaving everyone else behind to burn. The grand vow of Maitreya Buddha, who presides over this era, is a collective transformation. The goal is to literally turn this chaotic, disaster-prone world into a pure lotus land, a unified sanctuary of absolute peace as the Dharma spreads across the globe. Everyone has a role in bringing this unified world into existence by cultivating themselves and helping others. As we reflect on this epic 129,600-year cycle, the urgent descent of the Dharma, and the intense requirements of the final era, the text leaves us with a pretty provocative challenge. We are living in the final sliver of cosmic time. So, according to this intricate cosmology, when that massive clock finally stops ticking, will you have cultivated the wisdom, the patience, and the merit to pass the universe's ultimate test? It's definitely a fascinating perspective on time, consequence, and our place in the grand scheme of things.